Well, Juston Rhodes convinced me to cannibalize my chicken trackers. So, I guess I'm gonna have to have something new. Stick around. I'm gonna show you what we made and why we made it and the changes we made. Stick around. Good morning. It's March 6th here, 2019 at Heritage Oaks Farm. And well, it snowed a couple days ago and it's snowing again today. They are calling for nice weather for the weekend, so we're looking forward to that. But what I wanted to talk about was how Justin got me to change the way that we are running chickens in the pasture and the type of housing that we're making for them. And how he convinced me to change it was when I move these, there's a trailer jack on the front of these, and if I jack up the trailer jack, it pulls up the front of the chicken tracker, gets it off of the ground like it is here. You can see that it's got it lifted up off the ground. When you lift that up, it puts these wheels on the ground by changing the angle of it. Easy enough for me to move. They're also made out of pallets. I mean, some of them are taller than the others. And the reason that is because the pallets were actually taller. So I just took pallets, wrapped them with chicken wire, and just bolted them all together. Put a top on it, had lids on them, and they work really, really well. Except for 2 years into it, they now get a little bit too heavy for moving across these pastures. Whenever it rains, the tires just aren't quite right. The trailer hitch digs down in the ground. So I came up with this trailer here for the turkeys, which worked great. We'll be using it again this year. But I can move them, but nobody else on the farm can move them. So I always have to be the one moving them twice a day. And anyone should be able to farm. And whenever I watch Juston Rhodes over Abundant Permaculture, go check out his site. He's got some great information along with the instructions on how to make this chickshaw. When I watched him move it across the mud by himself, yeah, he struggled a little bit, but it was a lot easier than this. I can't use a machine. I mean, we have a UTV, we have tractors, we have ATV. I mean, we got stuff to do it. But when you take that across the mud, you just tear up your pastures. So I decided that after watching Justin, that I would make a chickshaw like Justin made. It works really nice. I really like it. Now I did make some changes to it, and one of the changes is because we live in Ohio, we have snow, wide open fields, and so what happens? That wind just whips around here. So I made little doors that go over and cover and they pop right out. They still have all the chicken wire just like Justin's does. The doors go back in really easy. They just snap in place. They're tongue and groove cedar siding. And block off that wind from whipping across that field. Now these will also attach to the inside of the lid. So when you raise up that roof, you'll be able to put them in there. The other thing I did was I put a piece of matting I bought over at the hardware store, and I just basically put this strip of wood on, hang that off. I also, the kickstand, I'm an old guy, so I'm here and I'm by myself most of the time. So I got to be able to do everything myself. Not much into bending over and working down on the ground. So I made a different kickstand for mine where I pull this pin out. I can push it up with my hip. I pull out the pin and I can raise and lower my kickstand down. Push it back up a little bit depending on the terrain, and put my pen back in, and it's not so back heavy. They are back heavy, and I thought about moving the axle back a little bit and doing all kinds of stuff, and I said no, I'm going to do it design wise as close to what he has, because I think that'll work, and it does. I really like this chickshaw. Great job, Justin. Definitely appreciate you sharing with the community, sharing with myself. We do put straw inside of it. Like right now, today it is 12 degrees, wind coming across the field. It's got it at 0. So I did throw some straw inside. I do like the milk crate idea. Unfortunately, and I'm not sure how I need to train, but one day they'll put them in the nest box, the next day they won't, and they put it underneath of it. So I'm not sure exactly how to change all that, but I really like this chickshaw, and again, I think Justin did a great job of designing it. It works really, really good, and show you on this side here, I put those doors on the front and on the sides just so that I could block it off. Now, I use cedar siding, and the reason I did is because years ago, when we first bought the farm, we weren't farming, but I'm a woodworker as well. I like creating things, so thus the creating everything makes it really cool, really fun for me. I'd rather make my own stuff than buy it. So I went to an auction and I bought a few bunks of wood. One of the bunks I bought was cedar siding. Now I bought an entire bunk of the cedar siding for $3. This rough cut lumber here, I bought another bunk of that for $3. I got a lot of material sitting around because of it. This top is the metal galvanized roofing that was here at the farm when we bought it. It was just shoved up the top of the barn. I used it then to make the chicken tracker that we do have, and I started taking it off. The hardware that I used, the latches and the stuff, hinges, that all came off that other tracker over there, so that inadvertently I just looked around the farm and I used what I got, and I did use regular dimensional lumber on it. I didn't follow his instructions exactly, but it's because I built with what I had. So I think it was a great project. It was fun to do. It also gave me something to do on a cold winter day, working up inside the shop. So again, thanks Justin, and I hope you guys go check that out. And that's why I made the changes I made, and I like my changes so far. we'll be moving around here through the lettuce garden. As these chickens will be in the lettuce garden, those chickens will be in the regular garden over there. And when the snow goes away and we get the covers and get all the beds going, then we'll have to keep the chickens out of those. So moving that around will help do that, as well as keep the nitrogen moving around and all the benefits of having chickens in your garden. So that's how Justin got me to cannibalize my chicken trackers. Hope you guys have a great day, and it's cold today and I'm gonna be working inside, so you guys have a great day and I'll see you tomorrow.